Hi and welcome to the speed math modules of Mockat. This is going to be one of the first videos among several of them which are going to be in this playlist. In case you're not viewing it as a playlist, do click on that and shift to the playlist view and do watch all the videos. All right. So if you like this, of course, do hit the like button and share your comments as well in the comment section, and just say as to what other videos you'd like to see from us, and be happy to post them. And in case you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do hit the subscribe button. All right. So speed math. All right. So speed math. Typically, when we hear about that, some of you would be wondering, why do you have tables mentioned over here? Where is Vedic math? Right. That's what we'd like to hear. It's cool, right? And you're going to have a lot of shortcuts, and we will be coming to this as well. We will be discussing these shortly in the subsequent videos in the playlist. However, it's not going to be the most important for you, right, when it comes to CAT or the other associated MBA entrance tests. The reason is quite simple. The questions are not going to be so heavy in terms of calculations, right? It's not going to be calculation intensive because you have a calculator provided. And also, these Vedic maths or the shortcuts for you to apply them, it's going to be under specific conditions, right? They're going to be specified conditions. Only there you can use those. So therefore, applicability is going to be minimal for this particular exam. And nevertheless, we'll look at those, and I'll share them with you as well in the subsequent videos. Now, first up is a kind of a boring area, right? Which is tables. It's also one of the first things we learned in math when we were a kid, right? Back when we were a kid, we had to memorize the tables from 2 to 10, and some of you would be knowing it really well right now. Some of you probably are out of touch, right? Out of touch, you got to make sure that you catch up on those. Yeah, 7/8 are 56 or a 9/8 are 72. You've got to know them at the back of your hand. So you cannot be relying on calculator for these calculations, right? So you've got to know them. And also another set over here, which are tables from 11 to 20, right? Now, this is something we would not have been told in school to memorize much, right? 11 tables, I think a lot of you would be knowing, right? So 11 sevens are 77 and so on. A lot of us were also told to memorize the 12 tables, and some of you would be knowing that 12 6 are 72, or 12 8s are 96, 9s are 108. I can say it quicker than I can write as well, right? But I need you to go beyond, and you should know the 13, 14, 15 and so on tables till 20. 20 is of course like 2 tables with a 0 added. Let's say till 19, right? So by 13 tables, you should know 13 into 4 is 52. That's a number of cards in a pack, right? A standard deck, 13 cards per suit and 4 suits, right? Or a 13 sevens are 91, or a 13 eights are 104, right? You have to hard memorize these. Do these turn up in exams? Are there questions which require these calculations? A lot of them. You can't be relying on the calculator or writing it in the side and saying 7 3s are 21, 1 2 carry up, and 7 1s are 7 plus 2 9. Right? That's going to be a waste of time. You'll forget the previous step. So likewise, 14 tables, or 14 sevens are 98, you should know, or a 14 eights are 112, right? Or simply a 14 fours are 56. 15 tables you need to push as well, right? 15 6 are 90, or 15 into 7 is 105, right? It just should be there, right? Or 15 8 is 120, it should just be there, right? So likewise, 16, 17, 18 and 19, right? Just name a few. 16 fours or 64 is quite often asked. A 16 6 or 96 is also an important one, right? 16 sevens are 112, or 17 sevens are 119, or a 17 fives are 85, or 17 into 6 is 102, and so on. Now, to practice these tables, just log into mockat.com and go to the speed math module which you're seeing over here, right? So you can just select the tables you want, your addition, subtraction, or the powers you want to practice, or any of these, right, or percentages, and you just start the practice, and it's going to be quite interactive, and it's going to be like, it's not going to be boring, right? It's going to be fun. You're going to be pushing the limits. You're going to be trying to do it quicker and quicker and more accurately. This is one of the best ways to practice. It's completely free. Along with this, of course, with a free account, you get a mock test for free, plus the speed concepts you can make use of. All of those I'll put in a different video. And if any of you are looking for guided coaching, right, CAT guided coaching where you're mentored by us, do reach out to us, and we'll be happy to share that with you as well. So back to this, a few other multiplication tables which I need you to know, right? 12 into 11, right? That's going to be 132. Now these are going to be 2-digit into 2-digit. 12 12s are, I think 12 square, almost all of you would be knowing it. 12 into a 13 over here. All right, so let me just write that clearly. A 12 into 13 is going to be a 156. A 12 into 14 is going to be 168. Now this is also 24 into 7, right? That's the number of hours in a week. 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, number of hours in a week, right? And how much is that? And that's 168. Yeah. 12 into 15, 180, right? 13 into 15 is 195. That also comes up quite often, right? Then let's say a 12 into 16, I'll leave that to you, that's optional, it's 192. This is also an interesting number because it's 24 into 8 or 48 into 4, right? Or 96 into 2, right? So it's quite an interesting number, 192. Now these as well, if you can hard memorize, right, that's going to be quite useful for you in the exam. Now a few other tables which I need you to memorize, right? It's going to be 24 tables which I just spoke about, right? So but 24 into 3 is 72, at least till about 8 you should know. 24 sevens are 168, we saw that. 24 eights are 192, right? 24 6 are 144, that helps a lot, right? Along with that, 48 tables as well, right? 48 into 2 is going to give us 96. In this case, it would have been 24 into 4. That's a 96. It's also 96, also a 16 into 6, right? You should know all of these. That's going to come in handy. Or other 48 tables like 48 threes are 144 and 48 fours are 192 and so on, at least a few of them. Now, 25 tables are very, 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 very important, right? I think we all know it till 25 6 are 150, right? 25 threes are 75 or 25 into 4 is 100, right? Or 25 fives are 125 till 25 into 6, I think all of you would be quite familiar. Now 25 sevens are 175, you should know. 25 eights are 200, not many think about it. And 25 nines are 225. 25 tens everybody knows, and 25 11s probably is 275. And a 25 into 12, right, comes up quite often, 300. 300 by 12 is 25, right? Think about those. Along with 25, yeah, that's fine. So then 27 into 2, 54, you know, into 3 is going to be an 81, into 4 is going to be 108, right? Memorize them. Into 5 is going to be a 135, into 6 is going to be a 162, right? Probably till this, right? That should help. And 35 tables, again, very often turns up. 35 into 4, for instance, you should know that is 70 into 2, which is 140. Right, that helps. A 35 into 5 is very often asked, and that's also 175, which is the same as 25 into 7, right? Start writing these down or think about these, right? You'll feel a lot more confident. So on with 36 over here. 36 into 3 is 108, 2s are 72, 36 fours are 144, and then you get a 180 into 5, and then into 6 is going to be a 216, and so on, right? You can always say it a lot quicker than what I write. A 45 over here, you can just count it as 45, 90, 135, 180, 225, right? So keep adding 45 back to back. 48, for instance, 48, 96, 144, 192, 240, 288, and so on. A 49 over here is going to be quite easy as well. 49 is nothing but a 50 minus 1. So into 7, for instance, is going to be 350 minus 7. 343, which is also a 7 cube, right? Which also we should know. A 49 into 9, for instance, is 450 minus 9, 441. Incidentally, is 21 square as well, right? So should be knowing these. A 75 tables is very important as well. 75 fours are 300, right? A 75 into 3 is 225. A 75 into 5, a lot of times it turns up 375, or a 75 into 6 comes to a 450, and so on. Yeah. 99, lastly, once again, is like 100 minus 1, right? So 99 into 4 is going to be 400 minus 4, which comes to a 396, right? 99 into, let's say, 7 is going to be 700 minus 7, 700 minus 7, which comes to a 693, right? Quick and easy ways to practice these, right? So try these out, and if you know these, it's going to put you in a pretty good position, right? Let's look at a few examples where we end up using these. First up is an example where general calculations is going to be helpful, right? Not specifically from the tables, but multiplication will be using. Right? So let's look at it. An elevator has a weight limit of 630 kg. Fine, it is carrying a group of people of whom the heaviest weighs 57 kg and the lightest weighs 53 kg. Okay. What is the maximum possible number of people in the group? Maximum number, right? So one is 57, one is 53 for sure. The two of them put together is going to be 57 plus a 53, and that comes to 110. So you remove 110 from the 630, we are left with a 520 kg more. And how many people can I put over here? Right, maximum number, but the minimum for a weight of a person is 53. So 520 has to be less than what? 53 into 10 is 530. It definitely cannot support 530, right? We have only 520 spare after these two people. So therefore, I can't have 10, I can have 9. What is 9? 530 minus 53. And that's going to be definitely less than 520. I do not need to calculate the exact number to be 477 and waste time over there. As long as I know it's going to be less than it. So 9 more people can be supported, right, to accommodate within this 520, a maximum of 9. So the maximum possible number is 2 people over here, and this 9, it totals 11. Right, one of the easiest years, which in terms of CAT Quant, CAT 2017, it was. You had a lot of easy questions where you could quickly solve using this, right? So you cannot be opening a calculator and dividing and all of that. I mean, you could still, but you don't need to for these questions. Another such, right? So not as easy as the previous one, right? So if the product of 3 consecutive positive integers is 15,600, 3 consecutive positive integers back to back. And what did I tell you? 156 over here stands out for us. What is 156? That's 12 into 13. That's 2 consecutive numbers into what? Into a 100. But 100 is really far away. Now let's break down 100 over here. 100 is nothing but 4 into 25, right? 4 into 25. Now this 4 is nothing but 2 into 2. This 4 I can multiply over here and here, right? And what do I get? I get a 24 into 26 into 25. Or I can rewrite it as 24 into 25 into 26. Right? So if you can relate to this, 156 over here is 12 into 13 and 100 over here into 100, but it's not consecutive. So in 100 I'll keep a 25, the remaining 4 I'm going to multiply 2 into this and 2 into this, right? That's it. I get a 24 into 26 into 25, or a 24 and 25 and 26. Those are my 3 consecutive positive integers which multiply. When multiplied you get 15,600. You cannot be using x minus 1 into x plus 1 equals 15,600. Avoid using variables in these questions. So now that we found it to be 24, 25 and 26, what is the sum of the squares of these integers, right? So we'll be looking at it in a separate video. I need you to memorize certain squares as well. You should be knowing this is 576, this is 625, this is 676, right? These are the basics. It's contained in my lessons, module 6 of number theory, the list of tables and powers to memorize, and you do that and you're ready for this. Now some of these, is this going to be more than 1800 or not? Definitely more than 1800. You take the 25 and you add over here, this is another 600 plus, that's 1800 and something. So it can't be these two. Is it 1875 or 1877? Exact number doesn't matter. I don't need to add and waste time. Just look at the units digit, 6, 5 and 6. 12 plus 5 is a 17 and a 1 carry up. It has to be 1877. Mark that and keep going. 1877 is the answer. Don't need to find the exact value. If you really have a lot of time, always you can do that. 1 carry up, a 14, 15, 16, 17, a 7 and a 1 carry up, and you have a 6 into 3, which is an 18, and you get the same answer. A third question over here. Now if a, b and c are positive integers such that ab is 432, okay, bc is 96 and c is less than 9, then the smallest possible value of a plus b plus c is what? The smallest possible value. I know all of them are positive integers. The constraint is for c being less than 9. So what is the largest I can have such that it's a multiple of, it's a factor of 96. Less than 9, 8 is fine. 8 into what is 96? 8 12s are 96. If B is going to be 12, then what's A going to be, right? What's A going to be over here? Divide this by 12. We just can go in for a plain simple division. 3 12s are 36 and a 72. That's a 36. 12 plus 8 is 20. 20 plus 36 is a 56. Try out other numbers. Below 8, 7, it's not divisible. 6 is, you know, table, 6 16s are 96. Divide this by a 16 and what are you going to get, right? So 2 16s are 32 and then you're left with a 112 and a 27 is what you get over here. Fine. 5, it's not divisible by, 4 it is, but before that let's quickly add this up. 16 plus 6 is going to be 22. 22 plus 27 is 49, which is also there, right? Let's try out the next one. 4, and 4 into what is 96? 4 into 24 is 96, and 24 you divide over here. What is that going to be? So you can just look at this, right? So 12, if I take a 2 and put it over here, I'm left with an 18, right? So 36 into 12 is 18 into 24, because I divide this by 2 and multiply this with a 2, I'm getting 24, and this becomes an 18, right? An 18 over here. Now 18, 24 and 4, you add up and you're going to get 46, and that's actually the lowest over here. Mark that and keep going, right? So you're going to be, there's so many questions, right, spread across the years. I've just shown you a few of them. Memorize these tables and it's going to give you a massive push in the test.